Good morning, everyone. We are continuing here in the Mesillas Yesharim, and today, Be'ez Hashem, we're starting the 12th chapter called B'derech Kinias HaNekius, which is the way in which a person acquires Nekius, cleanliness, being clean in their actions and their Middos, their character traits, as we've been speaking about this entire time. And he writes, the true way in which a person is going to acquire this trait of Nekius, of being clean, it comes through constant study of the words and the reading of the words of our sages of blessed memory, whether you're learning their instruction when it comes to halacha, the laws, or whether you're learning the words of our sages when it comes to musar, when it comes to the ethical works of how to better oneself in their life with their Middos, their character trait, their Yerushalayim, their service of Hashem, so on and so forth. So whether it is that you're learning about the halacha, the laws, or whether you're you're learning about how to perfect yourself better in the world of Middos, these are the way in which a person can achieve Nekius, cleanliness. Because after a person has already become clear to a person by the obligation for cleanliness and the need for a person to be able to master this trait, once that a person already, remember, this is a ladder of spirituality the Mesillas Yesharim based upon. So first, you already acquired zehirus, you're careful with your actions. And then you have zrizos, you are alacritous, you do things quick, you make sure you get them done. Now, b'mashin is asek b'dachik in yosam v'yisvachik b'mafsideyim. And in those two cases, we said, there's ways in which you're going to acquire them, and there's things you have to do to distance yourself, and so that you don't fall prey into these terrible traits. Once you're on such a high level where you are a Zohir and a Zariz, you are careful in particular with the acts that you do, and you are Zariz to make sure you get them done, and you stay away from all the deterrents that are out there that are going to end up hurting you from being able to accomplish that. Therefore, there's not going to be anything that's really holding you back from acquiring this trait of Nekius, of being clean, because you're already holding on that level where you are careful, and you do things bizrisus, you do things quickly. So of course you're going to get the job done. You're going to do the mitzvahs. You're going to work on yourself. So what's holding you back then from being a naki, from being someone that is clean in all of their ways? Says the Ramchal, what you're lacking is the knowledge of the details of our mitzvahs that Hashem has given us. In order that you should be careful with each and every single one of them. And this is a famous concept that we've spoken about many times, and this is really based upon the words of Rav Yisroel Salanter, and the Horowitz Chaim as well says such an idea, and that is that you could be inspired and you could want to keep all the mitzvahs and you could want to become a better Jew. But if you don't know what the halacha is, you don't know what the laws are, how to do it, then you will trample time and time again on the mitzvahs that you would like to become an expert in. And therefore, says the Ramchal, what's the first pathway in order for a person to achieve Nekius? You must have the Chokhmah, you must have the wisdom of the Torah, you must know the halachas properly in order to be able to keep them right. Therefore, it's necessary that a person has a thorough amount of knowledge in the laws of the Torah. You have to know how far the branches and all the subdivisions are reaching of the mitzvahs. And therefore, since that forgetfulness is something that is very common with these things, you need to read these books, halachic works, that will constantly reinforce and clarify the details of the halacha. in order that you should constantly refresh your memory of these halachas, these laws. And then then certainly you will be inspired to fulfill them. Says the Ramchal, once that you're learning and you keep reminding yourself and you go again and again and again, when you see someone's sefer that is worn out, that's a good sign. If it's worn out, that means that he reviewed it again and again and again. And the more that you review, the more that you drill the ideas and the chacham and the wisdom and the halacha into your life. And therefore you don't have to call the rabbi and ask him the same shaila, the same question. Every week you ask him the same question. You don't have to do that, because once that you learn it and you internalize it, it becomes part of who you are. So then you'll be able to be naka, you'll be able to be clean in that area. Any areas in halacha that we are in doubt of and that we are uncertain of and we're not sure exactly what to do, any of those areas is going to be very hard for a person to have the midah of nikios, of cleanliness, because we have to keep revisiting that halacha again and again. However, we do our best to learn it and to remember it and to retain it. So then that is the next rung on the ladder of spirituality that the Ramchal is describing over here, where we'll be a naki, we'll be clean, and we will continue to do that which is right, be'enei Hashem, that which is right in the eyes of Hashem. Have a wonderful day.